Mic check, mic check. Good evening, guys. Hey, Louisa. Hey, Wyndham. How are you? Nice to see you. Let's see what else we got in the room today. Oh, now Jazz has got a camera switched on. I think we're expecting a few more, 2 or 3 maybe. We'll just give them until 6:15, so another couple of minutes. So we're just about to tiptoe over the 6:15 mark. I'll say good evening, yogis, and welcome to your gravity yoga class. Tonight we're practicing the back release sequence. So it's really designed to release any tension, not just in the low back, but slightly upstream, slightly downstream, the muscular that contributes into the general low back area so that we can avoid backache. That's really the aim of the sequence. A couple of little housekeeping points. If you see me looking intently down here, that's because my monitor is down there. If you see me looking up here, I'm looking at the camera now. So if I'm not looking directly at you, I'm staring down here, it's because I'm actually watching your form, your alignment. Good, I'd like you to start by coming into a comfortable seated pose, Utkatasana, so legs crossed, and give yourself a chance to settle your hips down into the floor. And maybe release through your thighs just a little bit. Your hands can be placed onto your knees or wherever is comfortable. And as you push down through your hips into the ground, so your hips are neutral, see if you can just wake up each vertebra in your spine, as if you're lifting energy all the way up through your spine, between your shoulder blades, through the back of your neck, and then draw your chin in very slightly so you can reach the crown of your head just a little higher. And just roll your shoulders, the intention being that you can soften or melt your shoulders away from your ears and let go of just a little bit more tension as you allow yourself to slip into your practice. Reminding you that the gravity practice is not a soft, relaxing practice like the yin practice. We actually use a lot more energy, a lot more contraction through the body. It's like a pulse of energy going through the body, keeping it live. And then we're looking to stretch only the muscles. So it's a targeted flexibility practice rather than nourishing the internal organs and opening up the meridians, which is what we do in the yin practice. Subtle differences. So the 3 principles of gravity are: number 1, feel your target area. So in each posture, we'll have a target area, and I'd like you to send your awareness to the target area. Rather than having thoughts flitting around distracting you, allow your consciousness to go inside your body and soften the muscles. Number 2, let gravity move you. So once we find the posture and your awareness is in the target area, let gravity take you deeper. It's this free force we have on planet Earth, and we should work with it. And number 3, extend your exhale. We'll do some practice breaths at the beginning, but see if you can consciously extend your exhale so you can soften deeper into the pose and through your own stretch reflex. So 3 principles: feel your target area, let gravity move you, extend your exhale. Good, we'll practice that breath now. I'd like you to take a breath in with my count for 4 and a breath out all the way with my count for 8. So it's twice as long breathing out. So let the air leave your lungs. Gently breathe in with me for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out all the way 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep going. 2, 1. Inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale all the way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more together. Inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Keep this beautiful breath cadence moving so that you're lengthening your exhale. The intention being to soften through the muscles and beyond your own stretch reflex. Always inhale through your nose. Many medical benefits to nose breathing. 0 medical benefits to mouth breathing. More on that another day. Good. Gently place your palms together, and we'll start with a group affirmation. Rest your thumbs onto your chest and close your eyes. May this practice lengthen and balance your muscles. May this practice lengthen and balance your muscles. Good. So we'll start with a warm-up. We're going to use moon squats. So come to a standing position. Now my camera is set so that you can see me low. So I will sort of disappear off the top of the screen as I do this with you. Bring your feet to about hips distance apart and then just move your toes out slightly. So a little slight opening. And inhale your hand up nice and high. And then exhale, bend your knees and drop your hips towards the ground. Cross your forearms, come into a nice deep squat. And then inhale all the way up for 1. Exhale all the way through to the earth. Good. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your hands for 2, all the way back, cross the forearms. Inhale up 3. Exhale, dip your hips as low as you can. Inhale, reach your hands and your heart 4. Exhale, lower down to Mother Earth. Inhale for 5. We're warming up the big muscles in the body. Exhale down to the earth. Inhale all the way up for 6. Reach your energy high. Exhale all the way back down to earth. Inhaling up for 7, warming up through the big joints and the muscles in the body, articulating all the big muscles and joints. 8. Good. Keep going for 9. Dipping as low as you can. Coming up again for 10. Beautiful. Keep going with your breath. Inhale for the last 10. See how much range of motion you can generate for 9. Good. Keep going. Keep going. For 8. For 7, sink all the way to the earth. Lift it all the way up. For 6, sink all the way to the earth. Lift it all the way up. Last 5, sink to the earth. Touch the fingernails. Inhale to the heavens. 4, all the way down. All the way, reach it up. Last 3. Good. Keep going. Warm your body. Strengthen your muscles for 2. And the last one. Come on up. Good. Then come all the way down and take a little squat. Let your head hang forward. Sit your hips as close to the ground as you comfortably can. Give your head a little nod. Give your head a little shake. Good. And we're going to come to the first pose, which will work slightly upstream from the low back area. So coming into the thoracic spine. I'd like you to lie onto your belly setting up for Sphinx Pose. So we're starting just above the low back in the thoracic spine. That's the middle 12 bones of your spine. Coming into Sphinx Pose, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and your forearms compress into the ground. I'd like you to use a really broad palm so you can feel the earth. Send your awareness for a moment into your glutes, your bum cheeks, and just soften them, let them go. And let the inner seams of your legs soften too. Good, I'm just about to start the timer here. If you wish to come a little deeper into the thoracic spine, you can widen your hands as wide as your mat, and then straighten through your elbows, and drop down through your belly. But I need you to lift your heart. We're looking to create this extension through the spine. And if you notice your glute muscles engaging, once again, please switch them off. And if seal pose, that's with your elbows off the floor, is a little much, very welcome to use Sphinx Pose, elbows connected to the floor. And whichever one you choose, send your awareness into your middle spine, let it open. Extend your exhale. Long, slow breath out. And remember to let gravity melt you from the inside downwards. Good. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 8. Now, if you find the long 8 exhale just a little bit too challenging, where you find yourself counting really quickly from 4 down to 1 or from 5 down to 1, you can change the numbers, but keep the ratio. So maybe you inhale for 3 and exhale for 6. Maybe you inhale for 2 and exhale for 4. And then you can build it up later. The idea is to use the breath to relax the physical body. So if the full exhale of 8 is causing you any stress at all, it's counterproductive. You just need to change the numbers, stay with the exhale. So my watch is buzzing at me. It's time to gently come out of this. And we're going to use a reset pose, coming into Dolphin. So you can keep your elbows on the ground in a big shape, number 11. Walk your feet forward. And Jazz, just like when you practiced downward facing dog yesterday, it's a similar thing here, but you're going to do this with your elbows on the ground. So just like with downward facing dog, you'll lift your sit bones, those ischial tuberosities, up towards the sky, and try and stay soft through your neck, let the tension go. But lift your sit bones up, push the ground away through your elbows and shoulders, and maybe soften your heels towards the floor, but don't drop your bum. Lift your bum high. Good, so you've got this energetic line all the way through your torso and the back of your legs. Nice. So the next posture is particularly relaxing. It's one of my favorites. It's very easy. So I hope you can enjoy this one. Gently come onto the ground. We've just done a symmetrical posture, and we're going to follow it up with an asymmetrical posture, which means we do one side at a time. So if you lie onto your back, hi Adela, nice to see you. Lie onto your back, and we're coming into twisted roots. So if you leave your right leg at 90 degrees, right foot is on the floor, and then just lift your left leg over your right leg as if you were crossing your legs on the side of a sofa. Send your arms nice and wide. And then rotate both your knees to the right edge of your mat. So your left leg is over right, and both knees go to the right. And we start a really nice long stretch through the muscles of the outer hip. So you may feel this somewhere around the outer hip, in the IT band, and in the lower back muscles releasing. You may feel secondary stretches all over your body. See if you can send your awareness to your outer left hip Let it lengthen. Let the breath open it. And allow gravity to sink your left shoulder deeper into the earth. Allow gravity to draw your left knee deeper into the earth. And find length through the left side of your torso. Just over halfway through this pose, I'd like you to encourage your left shoulder deeper into the ground and move both your knees further over to the right. Stretch out through the left side of your body, rotating around the neutral spine. Allowing that outer left hip to soften and lengthen. Bringing some functionality back to the hips. Last long breath. And the timer is telling me that we're just tiptoeing over that 2-minute mark. So gently come on out of twisted roots. I'm going to take a reset pose to activate through the whole of the back line and the front line of the body, coming to bridge pose. For those of you who know it, I'm going to bend your knees and press your heels into the floor. See if you can touch your heels. See if you can touch your heels. Then bend your elbows. Take a breath in. Press your spine into the floor as you exhale. And then inhale, lift your hips up towards the sky. Coming to a really expressive bridge pose. So lift your heart as much as you can and press your knees as far from your hips as you can and reach your pelvic bone towards the sky. Good. Energize through the whole of your body. Push down through your shoulders. Nice. Big breath in as you lift a little higher and exhale it all the way back down onto the earth, really softly, one vertebra at a time. And we'll set up for the other side. So set your right leg this time up and over your left leg. Right leg floats up and over the left leg. And then once it's there, send your arms nice and wide. Take a breath and exhale all the way over to the left side of your mat. Getting a really nice long release around the right hip. Secondary stretch into the back of your right rib cage. Keep your conscious awareness in the target area and let it soften. Long, gentle exhale. If it helps, you can work with my count, inhaling now for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling long and slow, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in through your nose. Continue to find those long, releasing exhales. This kind of breathing will work to stimulate the rest and digest part of your natural bodily systems. Body needs to rest and rebuild. It has a special mode for this. These long exhales stimulate that mode. Maybe give yourself a moment to check in with your right shoulder and soften it deeper in towards your mat. Right shoulder deeper to the mat. Last 10 seconds. It's not quite enough for a whole breath cycle, but I hope you use your exhale to soften deeper. Good. Gently Come out of your twisted roots. We'll set up for a second bridge to energize through the whole of the body. Coming to this beautiful back bend, make sure that you can touch your heels before you come in. So your heels are close to your sit bones. Exhale to press your spine deep into the mat. Draw your elbows into your rib cage. Your elbows are 90 degrees. Good. Palms are wide. Inhale to lift your hips back up towards the sky and push down through your shoulders. Lift up through the ASIS joints. That's the frontal hip joint. Nice big breaths, massaging the whole of the inside of your torso, energetically lifting the hips higher, the heart energy up and over your own forehead. Press your knees towards the other end of the mat for one more long, energetic breath in as you broaden through your palms. Good, and then gently exhale all the way back down. Super slow, one spinal bone at a time. You've got this. Good. Having come through this beautiful back bend to energize, we're going to come into a standing forward fold to release through the whole of the posterior chain. So come to a standing position at the top of your mat. This is the symmetrical posture in this part of the sequence. Now, if you wish to, you can bend your knees as much as you need to. Don't feel a need to over straighten your knees. What we're trying to do is release through the low back and the posterior chain. Of course, if you straighten your knees, you begin to stretch the hamstrings. If that's something you desire, you can do that. But here I want you to open up through the whole of the posterior chain. I highly recommend that you grab your left bicep with your right hand and then sit your left hand inside your right elbow, so crossing your arms like that. Then you can use gravity to draw down through the shoulders, the head, and the arms so that you can extend through the full line of muscles radiating from your low back. So going all the way upstream and all the way downstream. So if you send your awareness now into your low back and gently send the awareness downstream through the glutes, through the hamstrings, feel them loosen through the backs of your knees and into your calves, maybe even the Achilles. Come on back up through the back line and into the low back, and then feel your awareness move through your spinal muscles all the way up into your mid-back. Feel your shoulder blades soften as you move your awareness through your spine into your neck, through the back of your spine into the back of your skull, and all the way around through the fascia around the top of the skull. So you're relaxing all the way through the posterior chain here. Remember, if you wish to straighten your legs and get a bigger stretch through the hamstring, you can if you have the practice, but doing this can sometimes overstress the low back. I want you to open up the low back. Nearly time. One more breath. Long exhale. And we're going to reset with Utkatasana, chair pose. So place your hands on the floor for just a minute and drop your bum. Just drop your bum, drop your bum, drop your bum. Yeah, don't let it touch the floor or anything. Just drop your bum so it's like you're sitting on a chair. Hands are resting on the ground. And once your bum's low enough to be on the chair, inhale, lift your hands and your heart up towards the sky. Utkatasana, strong, powerful through the whole of your lower body. And draw your belly in. Draw your belly in. Yeah, keep it in. Uddiyana Bandha. Soften your shoulders away from your ears and lift your heart, lift your gaze for one more big breath through the belly. Then gently fold forward and step down to the ground. We're going to come into Janushirasana. Those of you who know it, sit onto your bum and send your right leg out in front of you. Draw your left leg in, bending your left knee. You got it? Sole of the left foot can touch the inner right thigh. Yeah, and then gently inhale your hands up towards the sky and see if you can rotate around in neutral spine to draw your left shoulder towards your right foot. Not down, but just around. Take a breath in here, draw your belly in, and then gently exhale to lean forward over your right thigh and just place your hands on the ground wherever they comfortably go. Palms up is good. It means that you're a little bit softer. If you're used to all this grabbing hold of the floor and grabbing the foot and everything, and you feel a secret desire to do that, you can do that. But I offer to you to just simply flop into this now. You still need to keep around about 5%, 5 to 10% engagement through the low back, just to protect the low back just a little bit. So you're not completely floppy, but the rest of the body can relax, especially the legs. And you should feel a really nice stretch from your right hamstring cross-functionally through your low back into the upper left back, affecting latissimus dorsi and the rhomboids and the erector spinae on the left side of your spine, and through the glutes and the hamstrings on the right leg. And if you're not sure what all these muscle groups are, do not worry about it. It's just waffle from me, really. Send your awareness into your low back from your right, the back of your right leg to the middle of your left back, and let it open. Hamstrings get a really nice stretch here too, so do the calves sometimes. Enjoy your breath. Let gravity do the hard work. And feel the stretch all the way through the muscles. Last couple of seconds coming up here. Just let it go. Good, and then gently come on up. Our 2 minutes has expired, and we're going to come into a modified wild thing. I'd like you to keep your left knee on the floor, place your left hand behind your back, and then inhale. Use your left knee as a little support, and lift up through your hips. Reach up and over through your right hand. So you get a really nice stretch, an energizing stretch. You're pushing down really strong through the left shoulder, right? It's all engaged. You're not dumping into any ligaments. And you're raising your hips as high as you comfortably wish. For a big breath as you massage the internal organs through the rib cage, and then gently lower it back onto the ground. And we'll set up for the other side, Janushirasana, placing the left leg out in front and drawing your right foot in towards your thigh. Now you may see me putting a little block here. You probably can't even see it. It's underneath my left knee. That's because I had a calf tear a couple of weeks ago, so I'm being a little bit careful. Always be careful if you have an injury. Never overdo anything. Let your body tell you what the limits are, not your brain. Reach all the way up. Rotate your right shoulder forward, and then exhale, forward fold to that place where you know your body is stretching, just beyond the point of comfort. My teacher, Duncan Peake, used to say to us, what would happen on the other side, just on the other side of where you would normally give up? Just the other side of where you would normally give up. What it is that's so close if you just reached a little bit further. Of course, the skill is reading your body so thoroughly that you also know what is genuinely too much. Never do too much. And never give up too early. Last couple of breaths. Good. Gently releasing and setting up for supported wild thing on the other side. The right hand can press into the mat behind your hips. Roll the weight through the right knee and lift your hips up into the sky and press your hips high as you reach the left hand up and over, energetically pushing the right shoulder deeper into the floor. Big energetic stretch as you breathe through the lungs. Good. And then gently bring it on down to the ground. And we'll set up for our next posture, which is going to open up again through the thoracic spine, but targeting through the anterior chain with puppy dog. So come to stand on your knees and bring your hands out in front of you. This posture also known as Utkatasana or heart posture. So walk your hands out in front of you and lower your heart down towards the ground. So see if you can open up through your heart space. Now there's typically a lot of guarded mechanisms, usually emotional, around the heart that stops us from going into this posture. And if you feel that happening, please just be aware of it. What I would ask, however, is if you feel any pinching in your shoulders, bend your elbows so the pinching eases. The pinching in the shoulders is not good. An openness through the heart space and a sense of freedom through the thoracic spine is good. Just have a little look at how you guys are doing. Beautiful work, Wyndham. Louisa, I trust your breath is taking you deeper. Jazz, I'd invite you to strain your arms just a little more and lower your chest a little more to the floor, as long as you can do it without causing any discomfort in your shoulders. Beautiful work, Adela. Feeling your target area, heart space, thoracic spine. Letting gravity melt you closer to the earth. Using your long exhale to soften the body so you can surrender to gravity. We just tiptoed over the 2-minute mark and we're going to come in straight to a forearm plank to reset the body. So keep your arms on the ground, press the elbows down. Forearm, if you're not familiar with it, looks like this. Forearms are pressed into the ground, body's in a long straight line, knees are off the floor, belly is on. Kneecaps lift slightly so you can wake your legs up. Press out through your heels and then make sure you're not dumping into your shoulders. Please never dump into your shoulders in this pose. You will damage your shoulder ligaments. So use the whole of the muscle structure around your shoulders to lift your shoulder blades towards the sky and push your elbows deeper into the earth. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Try and keep your spine in neutral. Try and make sure you're not lifting your hips, dipping your hips. And we're just here for another nice, long, gentle, energizing breath. This isometric contraction will build strength through your core super fast. And obviously, it works more the more you do it. Good. Gently release yourself from this pose. And we're going to set up for dragon to open up through the front hip this time. So step your right foot forward and allow your left leg to stray as far back as you comfortably can. As far back as you comfortably can. And you can send your arms either side of your right leg to lift your heart space as much as possible and reach an open length from your left knee to your rib cage and allow that left hip to open up. I want you to feel gravity drawing your hips deeper towards the ground. So you've got your right knee as far forward as you can, and your right foot's directly underneath your right knee, and your left knee is as far back as it can. So you're opening up the space for gravity to draw the hips towards the earth, right? Maybe you can lift your heart space. Press your left knee out a little. Feel the energy through your left hip as gravity draws it deeper. I mentioned earlier that there's lots of emotional responses around the heart, stretch reflexes that protect your heart space. You kind of draw your shoulders and your arms in and you protect and you contract around the heart. This is very normal. We opened up in Puppy Dog. Here we're working with another area which has a lot of protection, and that's the groin area. We have a natural instinct to protect our ability to procreate. So there are lots of stretch reflexes and muscular contractions that protect you around the groin area, and you're working to open and release through these right now. Feeling the muscles soften and lengthen under passive load. Gravity, drawing your hips deeper towards the earth. You can consciously lift your heart closer to the heavens. Lengthen. If you do a job where you sit for long periods of time, and by that I mean anything more than 40 minutes, this stretch is fantastic. People who sit on chairs cripple their hip flexors. And I'm not exaggerating. If you do sit on a chair, please, please, please take lots of breaks, walk around, get up, drink water. Even if you just stand for a minute. Good. Gently coming out of this posture now, softly coming out, softly coming out. We're going to use side plank. I'm just going to switch the other way so I'm not sticking my bum in your face. Use side plank for our reset pose. So rotate onto your left foot and lift your hips up off the floor. For those of you familiar with the Sanskrit, Pashimotonasana, if you're not, just come into a side plank and lift your hips towards the sky. And if you wish to, you can float that right leg up towards the sky. It's entirely optional. I'm not going to do it, protecting my left calf today. Good. Lift your heart space and your shoulders a little higher as you push your left arm a little deeper into the ground. Nice. And then we'll gently come down and set up for the other side. So step your left foot forward this time and move your right knee back. So give yourself distance to sink into. Obviously, if you look at the screen, if your right knee is close to your left ankle and you're somewhere up here, then your femur bone is going to stop you going into this pose. So you want to move the right knee as far back as you comfortably can so that gravity can take your hips down and you can open up through the right hip flexor this time. Allow yourself to go for it, right? Big, strong muscles like quadricep, rectus femoris, You've got your right leg in full extension, your left leg in full flexion, actually. You're getting a bit of a stretch to your left hamstring. And then let gravity take over. It's almost as if your breath hands over to gravity to stretch out through your right hip flexor. Stay out of those thoughts if you can and stay in your body. Stay in your body. Stay in your body. Last 30 seconds. Let it go. Let it go. Hips sinking, lungs emptying. Last 5 seconds. You've got this. Good. Coming into your reset pose, side plank on the other side. Roll onto the right foot. Lift the left hand towards the sky. Lift your hips towards the sky. Let's see how you guys do. Good. Louisa, you can lift your hips a little higher. Nice modification onto the elbows. Jazz, lift your hips a little higher. Your screen is frozen. Beautiful work, Wyndham. Adela, hips high, energetically high. Reach the left hand to the sky. Beautiful. For one more breath in, let it fill the whole of your torso. You're doing so well. Nice. And then gently relax onto the ground. And we're setting up for our next and final symmetrical posture. So this is Pashimotonasana, for those of you know. It's a seated forward fold to come a little deeper through the posterior chain in an even more relaxed position because your legs aren't doing any work this time. Let your legs go all the way out in front of you. Get something and put it under my left leg before I put too much stretch onto that left calf. Good. Inhale, both hands up towards the sky. Draw your belly in. And exhale to lead with your lower gut towards your upper thighs and fold at the waist. And then reach your hands down. Let them rest at your knees or as far as you can reach, right? But take the palms and let the palms face upwards. So there's a surrender to the pose. And then energetically, bring your awareness into your heart space. And then almost as if you could physically move your own heart, draw your heart forwards and up through your throat and lead the crown of your head forward. So you're getting a really nice long stretch through the posterior chain. You can feel this in your low back. As you lift your heart forward, you can feel this in your hamstrings and all the way down the posterior chain. Good. You're doing really well. Let gravity do the rest. Let your exhale extend. And last full breath cycle in this pose. Nice. Let's reset. We're at a reverse tabletop. We'll take a couple of crunches. So press your feet into the ground and press your hands into the floor. You can use your palms. I use my fists since my wrist surgery. Inhale to lift your hips up towards the sky as if coming into a tabletop shape. Lift your hips a little higher, higher, higher. Your head can go back if that's comfortable for your neck, but lift your chest up. Energize, take a breath in, and as you exhale, if this isn't clear, just watch my demonstration. Straighten through your legs, but keep your bum off the floor. Straighten through your legs, but keep your bum off the floor. Reach the heart forward. Good, bum is off the floor. Then inhale, lift the hips back up. Lift the hips back up. Press the heart up. Good, twice more. Exhale to drop the bum and straighten the length, but keep the bum off the floor. Keep the bum off the floor, core is strong, heart is forward. Good, inhale, lift the hips, reverse tabletop. Heart presses towards the sky. Last time, straighten through the legs, keep the bum off the floor. Bum off the floor, Jazz. Straighten your legs, straighten your legs, straighten your legs, straighten your legs, even more, Jazz. Keep the bum off the floor so that the bum moves between the wrists. Good, inhale, one more time, all the way up, and then relax down onto the ground. Well done, guys. Not such an easy one. We're going to come into a wide leg fold. So send your legs nice and wide. I like to use the mat as a guideline here. I've got black trousers on, so you can almost see against my orange mat that I'm using the two corners of the mat to reach towards. Maybe you can do this, or maybe not. Good, and then inhale, both hands up towards the sky. Rotate your right shoulder around towards the left, and then exhale to drape your body over your left thigh. Now in this one, I'd encourage you to bring your elbows towards the ground or your leg if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. And then let your legs go really floppy. Let your legs go floppy. Good. And then open up into this posture by letting gravity draw you towards the earth. You've done so much work to loosen through the whole of the posterior chain and the hips. Low back is now soft. You can let go and let gravity draw your torso down into the earth. Let go. Surrender into the stretch. Let the muscles lengthen and balance. Just over 40 seconds left. Maybe you can go a little deeper. Maybe you can let gravity take you deeper. It's your choice. All right, yogis, we have arrived. Time to gently ease on out of this, and we're going to use Camel Pose as our reset. Camel Pose is our reset, Utkatasana. So come to kneeling. Come to kneeling. Draw your belly button in. Tuck your toes if you wish. And once the belly button is in and you supported your low back, inhale to lift your heart, press your hips forward. This is the back bend. Maybe you reach your hands down to your heels if that's comfortable. If it's not, don't worry, keep them on your hips or wherever is comfortable, and arch through the front body. Lift the heart. Press the hips forwards. Good. Big breath in. Massage the lungs. Stay for an exhale all the way. And then inhale. Come on up. And we'll set up for the other side of our wide-legged forward fold. So you may use the two corners of your mat or wherever you know you can get to. See if you can possibly go a little deeper this time. Widen the legs. Give yourself the opportunity to stretch out through the inner thighs. Inhale, both hands up towards the skies. Rotate through neutral spine to lead the left shoulder forward. And then exhale, drape yourself over your right leg. Let your palms face upwards. Let that stretch move all the way through the body. Inner thighs, right hamstring, left latissimus dorsi, whole body stretch. Feet can go floppy. Use gravity to draw your chest towards your thigh. Stretch it out. I'm always curious to know if you guys use that playlist that I send out. A bit of music in the background. Maybe you just allow your awareness to sit inside your body as you feel your body opening and stretching and lengthening through the muscles. All right, yogis, my watch is buzzing. It's time to gently come on out. And we'll take a final Utkatasana to release from the posture. Come back to your knees, energize through your core, lift through the crown of your head, draw your belly button in. And once it's in, lift your heart, press your hips forward, and maybe send your hands back towards your heels. And lift your heart, send your gaze to the skies. Walk your eyes back along the ceiling so you find this beautiful arch through the front line of your body, coming to this powerful back bend. Beautiful, energizing posture. Find your richness in your body. You remind yourself just how wonderful it is to have a human body. Good. Take a long breath in here. Fill your lungs. Stay for an exhale. And then inhale to come on up. Come forward into a gentle child's pose just for a moment. Gentle child's pose just for a moment. Soften the low back. Then reach forward onto your belly and roll onto your back. Well done, guys. Gently exhale one knee at a time into your chest. And wrap your arms around your knees. Draw those knees in. Like you're hugging a really old friend. Like COVID doesn't matter. Got this beautiful embrace with your own body. This embrace of love and compassion and gratitude for what you are. Not the things you have, but the person you are. The human being that you are. Be grateful for that. Gently allow your arms to rest onto the floor, and we'll take a supine twist. Rotate both knees over towards the right hand side. Just soften everything down as much as is comfortable. I'd like you to smile. Just smile. No particular reason. Just even if you have to fake it, just smile and notice the effect that has on your physiology. And if you didn't smile, oh dear. Gently exhale both knees back into your chest. Maybe you realign your spine if you need to. And then exhale, send both knees over to the left or the opposite side. As long as you get both ways, doesn't really matter which way you went. Nice relaxing supine twist. See if you can melt your spine into the mat. Imagine your spine was made of warm, heavy lead, sinking deeper into the mat and drawing the rest of your body with you down into the mat. Can you fake smile? Can you genuinely smile? Gently draw your knees back into your chest. One last little squeeze before we set up for our resting posture. Let your legs lie on the ground. Just let them down there, right? Like two heavy lampposts attached to your hips. Feet are as wide as your mat, maybe a little wider, and let the feet flop out to the side. And then rest your arms on the ground and let your palms face upwards. Soften your shoulders and soften your arms. Allow the whole of your body to melt into the mat. Relax your legs and soften the inside of your feet. Neck, shoulders, head, face, everything relaxing. Imagine if you could allow your muscles to melt from the bones and softly absorb into the earth. Take a generous breath in as comfortable as you like and breathe out to relax. Let go and allow your practice to sink deep inside of you. Shavasana. Gently bring your awareness back inside the room. Soften your body, relax your shoulders. Bring your awareness into your heart space and feel a warmth right inside your heart. Bring your awareness deep into your face and feel a smile deep inside your face. Relax your arms and give your fingertips a little wiggle. Relax your legs and give your toes a little wiggle. Roll your head slightly on the mat. And then exhale your knees one by one into your chest and just roll onto your left side or your right side, whichever you find most convenient. And let your body soften. There's a clarity to letting go. Gently push your ground away and come on up into a seated posture. One that's comfortable, one that's no struggle. And we'll take an Om together to seal our practice. Zoom technology doesn't like it when I Om, it cuts it out. So I invite you to enjoy your own Om, but remember an Om has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Ah, ah, and then a silence that is part of it. And when you finish an Om, please always breathe in through your nose. A lot of value to breathing in through the nose after an Om. Or you could just sit there and smile. Your choice entirely. Let's take a nice deep breath in to clear our lungs. So inhale, and then exhale to clear it out. Take a full breath in here. Gently bring your palms to touch and rest your thumbs on your heart space. Bow your head just a little. And give yourself some true gratitude for your practice. Smile to yourself. Remember how good it feels to just be a human being, not a human doing. Namaste, yogis. Thank you very much for practicing with me. I hope you feel amazing. I look forward to seeing you next time, which will be the 10:30 class. I can meet you on the 10:30 class on Saturday morning. Next week, I won't be doing any Zoom classes. I am clearing the whole of the studio. The reason being, I'm clearing all this. I'll show it. I mean, here it is. Let's see if we can get this, show you a little bit of live what's going on. So the studio is, if you can see that now, it's got all sorts of stuff in there. So switch the lights on, so if we can show you that. Yeah, there you go. So there's stuff everywhere, right? And although I've put markings on the floor and done all that kind of stuff, I am going to clear all of this, and then a team will come in and we steam clean everything. Hoover, vac, steam clean everything, totally. Same with reception and the hallway and the therapy room, all that stuff. So because we're going to open again on Monday the 27th. So I really hope that you can join me and come here to the studio to practice. It's been a very long time. If you've got any questions at all, please let me know, email, by text or anything. I love it when you guys ask me questions. And obviously we're back in the studio in person. So thanks for practicing with me. Maybe see you on Saturday morning and look forward to seeing you in the studio soon. Bye for now.